Latest football news, engaging debates,
and fascinating opinions.
Pitchside talk on IO Radio. So it is Chelsea versus West Brom today, the first game back after the international break. And for Chelsea, N'Golo Kante is the only player missing this game due to returning back from international duty with a muscle injury. But Thiago Silva, Tammy Abraham, Jorginho and Callum Hudson-Odoi are all fit for Chelsea. But for West Brom, it looks like the loan signing of Conor Gallagher cannot play. He is ineligible to place his parent club. And also Robson Kanu will be in the squad despite being sent home from Wales in the international break. Piers, a big opportunity here for Chelsea to get 3 points and also closing on Leicester as they are playing Manchester City later on in the evening so they can go 2 points behind. But for West Brom really here, 10 points off safety, there's still an outside chance that they could survive. But if they want to do that, they really need to pick up wins thick and fast.
Yeah, I mean, obviously West Brom had a good opportunity in their last game out against Crystal Palace to try and get something. Obviously didn't get anything there. So, it's really starting to slip away from them. The only positive that they can take is maybe the teams that are just outside the relegation zone are also dropping some points. So that's the only positive they can take from it, really. On the other hand, Chelsea obviously had a draw against Leeds last time out. We're a little bit lucky. Leeds had some decent chances at the start, saved by Mendy a couple of times. But there's been such a big break in football. I would say any form any team's been in is going to be reset anyway. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea will come back. They had a brilliant start with Tuchel. Now they've had a break. It'll be interesting to see how these players will come back from international. These players like Werner didn't have the best international break. But I think Chelsea is still a very strong side. I think, with Leicester playing City, that'll be an interesting game for them to be looking at. And I think Chelsea, they're a dominant team again. I think they look very good. I think they should definitely get the win against West Brom, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 to Chelsea.
So it's Leeds versus Sheffield United today, and for Leeds, the captain, Liam Cooper, is available after missing the last two matches before the international break because of illness. Rodrigo and Pablo Hernandez have recovered from muscle strains, but Click will miss out on this game because of a recent positive COVID-19 test. But for Sheffield United, who've only had one win out of their last 5 games, John Ender is back. He is back from his absence that he got from his dislocated toe, and Ender Stevens has overcome a unspecific injury. Piers here for Leeds. They can get back to winning ways. They won against Fulham, ending that horrible run they were on for a little bit. They can now go back into the top 10 here with a victory. But for Sheffield United, it's more about now trying to finish really this season on a high note after such a poor season here. For them, they just need to sort of end this strong if they can.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a shame for Sheffield United. It looks like, it's already been set for them where they'll be next season. So right now it's about putting in good performances and trying to get wins against teams like Leeds. I mean, we have to remember that this is Leeds' first season back in the Premier League. And they're doing brilliant. So, Sheffield United should try and put as much effort as they can in these last games just to show that they're not missing about when they're going to try and get back up next season. For Leeds, on the other hand, a draw against Chelsea, not too bad, kept a clean sheet, and a win against Fulham. A Fulham side who have been, although their form hasn't been great, they're still a tough team to beat as of late. So that was good for Leeds. Obviously, Leeds have struggled with consistency. They were unlucky in the West Ham game just before that as well. So, I don't think Leeds are in too bad form, to be honest. But you never know with Leeds what way they're going to go. But I just think with how they play and with the morale with Sheffield United, I don't imagine being great. I think Leeds will get the win here. I think it'll be an impressive win for Leeds. I'm going to go for a 3-1.
So it is Leicester versus Man City today, probably the biggest game this weekend. And for Leicester, James Maddison has recovered from his hip problem, and also Ricardo Pereira has overcome his hamstring strain just in time for this game. But Harvey Barnes still remains on the sidelines for the Foxes. For Man City, Pep Guardiola, he has no new fitness concerns and has a full squad to choose from, but he will be assessing those players who have just come back from international duty as well. And it looks like Edison will be recalled back into goal after being rested in the FA Cup. Piers here, quite a big game here, but more bigger really for Leicester. They need to win this game. They can go ahead of Manchester United, but if Chelsea do win, they could be clawed back into this top 4 little battle here that's starting to brew a little bit. For Man City here, if they win this, another step closer to the Premier League title this year.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. I always enjoy when Leicester play Man City. It's always fireworks between the two. It's always an exciting game. Man City, they've been in terrific form for the international break. Obviously had the loss against Manchester United, but I feel like that lit a fire in them and they played even better in the games after that. Obviously having a break, it'll be interesting to see how they come back if they're still as strong. I would imagine they will be. Leicester, on the other hand, they had a bit of a wobble come back with some good wins. I feel like they had a really good win against Manchester United in the FA Cup. Obviously, they've got teams like Chelsea, even possibly West Ham and Tottenham starting to sneak up on them if results don't go their way. And obviously, it's the biggest test in front of them. It's the Champions League. I mean, for Manchester City, I would say that the title's probably theirs now. They have to have an ultimate slip up now if they don't want it. So I would imagine Man City will go into this game trying to go for the kill. I think Leicester need to win more, but I think Man City will get it, and I'm going to go for 3-1 to City.
So there's another big game this weekend, Arsenal versus Liverpool, and for Arsenal, they will assess Saka and Smith Rowe, who are nursing hamstring and hip injuries respectively, but Willian has returned back from a calf problem. Granit Xhaka is a doubtful for this game through illness. For Liverpool, some good news to them. Roberto Firmino has recovered from his knee problem that will rule him out for the last 3 games, but John Henson is still injured from this game, and he's still on the sidelines with Joe Gomez, Joel Matip, and Virgil van Dijk. Piers, sort of a big game here for both sides. Arsenal, they win this, they can go 1 point off the 8th place, which will put them closer to those European places for Europa League football next season. But for Liverpool here, if they win this, they'll go back to 5th here. And if Chelsea lose, that's 2 points off 4th. And they're having a little bit of a disastrous season. They could still recover from here.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge game. Just quick condolences to obviously the big Arsenal fan, Claude, who from AFTV, who had passed away. So condolences to him and his family. In regards to the game, it's a massive game. Liverpool, I think they haven't had I think we can all agree they haven't had the greatest season for where they should be with the team that they have. Starting to pick up a little bit more momentum now. I think after that Chelsea loss, they started to get back in and in Europe. Arsenal, on the other hand, they had a terrible start to the season, and now they're starting to get into both these teams. Liverpool have just got the smidgest of hope of getting into the top 4 there. I think Arsenal, their priority is just to get into those Europa League places. My prediction for the game, I don't know. Obviously, both teams, it's such a hard one to pick, but I don't know why. I just fancy. I think it's going to be a draw. This one, it's too hard to pick. I think the teams are very evenly matched on the front. They're on the moment. I think it's a 50-50 match, and I'm just going to go for a 2-2.